Good morning everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to speak about sleep. Have you struggled to sleep lately? Does it take a lot of time to get to sleep? I can say you are not alone. Sometimes if you are stressed or there are a lot of things running through your mind, you might struggle to sleep, and sometimes you will feel that magically you get to sleep very quickly. And in the morning you will not even know when you slept and uh, whether you woke up in between or not. A good night's sleep is like it's like a click of a button. You sleep immediately as soon as your head hits your pillow, and then you wake up in the morning. You were in the deep sleep state for a long time, so that is the indicator for that. uh, the reason for making this video is from the last 1 to 2 months I have been sleeping really well. Around 90 to 95% of nights I get to sleep very quickly and I wake up right in the morning at around 6:37, and I'm getting proper 7 to 8 hours sleep. I've seen a really good trend that I'm sleeping for a long time, so I thought let me share some of my anecdotal evidence that I observed that let me sleep quickly. So, just a disclaimer, I have started exercising from the last 1 to 1.5 months on a regular basis, uh, around 5 to 6 times a week. Let's start right at the top. The first thing that you can inculcate in your life to sleep better, for me, would be physical activity. Second is diet. Let me start with diet first, and then I'll go to the physical activity part, because diet plays, I felt, for sleep particularly, not about health and everything, but for sleep particularly, diet plays a really important role. So I try and have my dinner at least 2 to 2.5 hours or even 3 hours before I get to sleep. And I don't know why. It's probably something related to our gut and the mechanism of how food gets digested in our bodies. But whenever I have my food before 7 or by 7:30, and just to tell you, I sleep by 10, 9:30 to 10. So that gives me a gap of around 2.5 hours. So I finish my dinner by 7:30. Don't have any solid food after that. I try and not have any food after that, and then I get to sleep at around 9:30 to 10. So that is 2 to 2.5 hours after I have my dinner, and that let me. So clearly, I can see a correlation between how the gap between my meals to the time I sleep and how good my sleep is. So I would suggest, whatever be your sleep time, some people sleep earlier, 9, some people sleep later, 11, 12, 1 or something. So I would suggest, have your food at least 1.5 to 2 hours before you sleep. Even better if it's more than that, the gap. So once you have your food, and this is what I believe, your body takes some time to your food takes some time to pass from your stomach to your gut. So that takes 1 to 1.5 hours to 2 hours. So once the food passes from your stomach, from your esophagus to your stomach and then to your intestines, so your body does not need to think much about the digesting part. So I know it sounds silly, but this actually played a really good part in getting me to sleep early. So this whole video will be about my anecdotal evidence, not something that is research backed. Definitely, if you comment below and you want to know something more about the research on sleep, I will make a video later on this particular topic, but for now it's just anecdotal evidence on what I felt, what I observed from my own sleep patterns and my own body, how it felt. So this is the first part. So the second point is physical activity. From the last 1 to 1.5 months, I started inculcating some physical activity into my body. I am going to the gym from the last 1 to 1.5 months, also logging it. I will record another video on how you track your gym sessions and all of that. But the point is, once you have some physical activity in your body, that affects and improves directly your sleep quality. The days that I've had physical activity, I have not had one sleepless night, and I sleep really well, really fast as soon as my head hits the pillow. So physical activity correlates very well with sleep, notwithstanding its health benefits that maybe we can cover in some other parts, but exercise equal to sleep quality. Does not mean you have to exercise at least 1 hour, half an hour, 2 hours per day, or all of that. If you're going from zero exercise, if you're someone who is coming from zero exercise, no exercise at all in a day, even if you go to 10 minutes more per day, that also has a massive impact. So I would suggest you at least take 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes out of your daily schedule, maybe in the morning. A morning walk would also be fine. You can do that. Although I would suggest a bit of intensity in your training. There is another term called HIT, high intensity training, high intensity interval training, HIIT. So whatever be the case, physical activity, it can be however small duration, it's your call. So just having that physical activity in your life, that directly impacts the sleep quality that you have day to day. The next point is, leave all of your electronic screens out of your bedroom. It's a really good advice for not only people who are trying to sleep, just if you are trying to have a good relationship with your partner, even that helps. What I've done, whenever I struggle to sleep, I leave my phone in a room which is not my bedroom, somewhere else. This helps in two things. First of all, there is a very high correlation between the time you spend looking at a screen that emits blue light, and that affects the sleep quality. So there is this direct correlation, studies say. I've checked a lot of studies. That is a direct correlation. One more thing is, when you are just starting to trying to sleep, as in you just go hit your bed and then you calm down, your body temperature goes down, and then you will start slowly going to sleep. But then if you feel that you're going to sleep a bit slowly, or you're not getting to sleep quickly, you what is your immediate intuitive reaction, reflexive reaction? You reach over for your phone. If your phone is just beside you, you reach over for your phone, and then you doom scroll. You go picture after picture in Instagram, or you keep looking at reels or YouTube shorts or whatever, and then after that you realize that that was a huge waste of time, and you could have slept in that time. So a very good habit that we can start, at least maybe not every time. Some people are really good at sleeping quickly. You do not need to leave your devices, maybe. Myself included, sometimes I leave my device out of my bedroom when I'm struggling to sleep, sometimes not. when I know that I'm sleeping well. So this is a not such a huge contributor to sleep like the exercise I was saying, but this also plays a really important part. Sometimes, right when you're just about to sleep, your mind says to reach out to your phone and then search that important thing that you think, something that you have to Google right now. So, but that's not usually the case. You could have Google that sometime next day morning also, but then that affects sleep, and you might take another half an hour to get to sleep, another half an hour, another half an hour. So this keeps going ahead, and then later you realize that it is 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and you haven't slept yet, and then you finally put your phone beside and then you try to sleep. The next step, imagine that you are dreaming. Imagine that you have started dreaming actually. You close your eyes and then think about a moment in your life where you're doing some activity, maybe along with people or by yourself, but focus on the detail about it, what you're actually doing, what you are wearing. Do you have a watch on? Are you in a blazer suit, or are you in, for women, are you in a sari or top and jeans or any of that? Try to focus on the detail, but not so much that you get lost in the details about what you're wearing and what you're this thing. Focus on the moment as well, what work you're actually doing, how you're speaking. Imagine yourself doing some activity, that particular activity in the third person. So essentially you're watching a movie of yourself, a short film so to speak, about yourself, and you're doing that activity. You're speaking with people, and the other people are also joined in that activity, and then observe what you're doing. After a point of time, you'll feel automatic. You're actually just observing and discovering yourself in a new light, and you will never know when you stopped imagining you are dreaming and you actually started dreaming and you fell asleep. This I observed in myself a lot of times. When I am struggling to sleep, I used to, at that time, I close my eyes and start visualizing, imagining that I'm dreaming, and that helps a lot, and you get to sleep very quickly. The next step, try making your day productive. Now, what do I say? What do I mean by that? In your day, sometimes there are days for everyone. By the night, by the evening, just before you sleep, you feel that nothing productive happened. You didn't do anything important that day. You didn't achieve anything much that day or that. And that, I can't emphasize this enough, but this impacts sleep quality by a lot, by a mile. So try to include as many things in your day as possible, not just the work that you have set yourself or your boss has given you or something, work in your office maybe. So you include some time to focus on your hobby as well, maybe some hobby. If you don't have hobbies, take up a hobby, some activity. I have already stated the importance of exercise, physical activity. There are other things also. Maybe in that physical activity you could include a sport, playing with friends, something, cricket, football, basketball, whatever. The other hobbies could be you just picked up a musical instrument, maybe guitar you always thought you wanted to learn. You bought a guitar and it is somewhere in your house collecting dust. You can pick that up, dust it off, and then just play something in it, maybe 5 minutes or something. Or you usually think to write something, maybe type out an article, post, vent out your creativity, you maybe you like sketching, you take up a pencil, just a paper, any paper from your notebook or somewhere, you're tearing it off. So just don't let some things that you don't have affect your hobby time. Creatively solve the problem of doing it. So what do I mean by that is, if you want to paint something, you don't have things to paint with, you don't have paint, you don't have your canvas, you don't have your a big white sheet of paper, you don't have all of that. But to jump over that obstacle, think that you just have 5 minutes on that day, and you time yourself 5 minutes you have to spend on painting. You don't have paint, nothing. So what you do, you start your timer 5 minutes, you take uh, any paper lying around. You definitely would have some A4 sheets or something lying in your house, even in newspaper or any paper of that sort which has a blank side. You take that, you tear that, and then you take a pencil or a pen or whatever from your bag, and then you just start drawing whatever you want for 5 minutes. That will put in motion your mind to start thinking creatively, and believe me, you always extend your time. After 5 minutes you feel that acha, you already started some activity, let us continue. So this always happens. So all this story for just one point, add something in your life which feels productive to you. And finally, by the day end, I don't know how this works, but your mind feels that you have done something productive, and then you get to sleep quicker. So this is magical, and it works for me anecdotally, probably not proved by some science, but this worked very well for me in my own life. So the next point, waking up with an alarm and about half an hour to 1 hour before you usually wake up. So say you usually wake up at 8 a.m. every day. Sometimes you wake up later than that, sometimes earlier, but on an average, say you wake up at 8 and you struggle to sleep. So what you can do is, you open the clock app on your phone, set an alarm for 7:30 a.m. or 7 a.m. better. Once you set that alarm, you sleep or you don't sleep or you sleep very late. Next day morning, you wake up at that alarm sound, 7:30, 7. I assure you, you will wake up at that time. Because it is not so early from your usual wake up time that you struggle to wake up and then you snooze your alarm and all of that. And it's not at your wake up time, so it's just slightly earlier, half an hour to 1 hour. So once you wake up that day, a little earlier from the time that you wake up, the next day you observe it in yourself at least 1.5 to 2 hours before your usual sleep time, which is around 1 a.m. or 12 a.m. or whatever. You will start feeling sleepy, you will start feeling drowsy, and you sleep earlier that day. After a few days like this, you can even stop setting your alarm, and you have set right your sleep schedule by this one activity. Just following on from this point that I just mentioned, this next step is never, and I can't stress this enough, never put off your sleep once your body starts to shut down. If you are feeling drowsy, if you are feeling sleepy, if you are yawning every 10 seconds, that means it's time for you to sleep. Don't put it off. You will regret it later. If you put off your sleep, maybe you are working on something important. After half an hour, you feel that you will go to sleep after half an hour or 1 hour. You will again struggle to sleep. Sometimes, and this I have observed in myself, I start feeling sleepy, but then I was watching some very entertaining, useful video on YouTube. I think that let me finish this video and then I'll try and go. But that video never stops there. I watch another 2 to 3 videos and then only then after that I stop my phone and then I try and start sleeping. But then the timing is very important. When body was saying me, telling me that I had to sleep at that time, I stopped, I didn't sleep. And then next, when I want to sleep, my body does not partner me in the same way. I take another 15 to 20 minutes or half an hour to sleep. And I have observed that when my body told me to sleep and I slept at that particular point of time, I slept very quickly, maybe within 5 minutes or 10 minutes, within 5 minutes if I can say. So this is very important. And observe yourself. So you bring in consciousness onto yourself. You think about your body more, what your body is trying to say, what your brain is trying to tell you. I would assure you your sleep quality and on the whole your the health of your mind and your body improves tremendously. Huge. The impact is huge. So as soon as you start yawning or you feel sleepy, you sleep. That's the conclusion. The next point. Do you have coffee a lot? If you do, try this. Don't have coffee after noon. After 12 p.m., just keep this in mind. You don't have coffee after noon. You can have your green teas or normal tea or whatever. So, science says, studies say that tea, green tea, and all of the teas, they also have caffeine, but they don't release so much caffeine into your blood as much as coffee does. So, and coffee, drinking coffee after noon, definitely lots of people sleep very well even after having coffee just half an hour earlier to sleep. I am not speaking to those guys, but people who are struggling to sleep. I have observed this in myself also. If I don't have coffee after noon, this affects. So there is a significant effect of having coffee in the evenings and then not able to sleep better. As you all know, the caffeine's effect on body stays for at least 6 hours on the body. So if you are sleeping at 10 and you are having coffee at 5 p.m., so that is, the gap is less than 6 hours, so that affects your sleep. The last point, the last step in your journey of sleep is do not sleep in the afternoon. I can't say how many times, but innumerably, whenever I sleep in the afternoon, this affects my sleep quality in the night. I do not sleep quickly and I keep tossing and turning in the bed whenever I sleep in the afternoon. It can even be a very short nap in the afternoon, even for 10 minutes or 20 minutes you slept in the afternoon. This affects my sleep hugely. This has a very huge impact. So try, if you are habituated to sleeping in the afternoon, this will be very hard. You might even have a headache in the evening, but still do it for one day and then you see how easy it is to get to sleep in the night once you don't sleep in the afternoon. This plays maybe a small part but a very significant part in sleep. So if you don't sleep in the afternoon, you will get to sleep faster in the night. This is the final part. This is the final point. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please comment and let me know if you want me to cover any more topics regarding health. Sleep is, I know, and lots of scientists, now new studies have come up, and now science has recognized and acknowledged the effect of sleep on overall health, mental and physical. So Good luck. Hope you all have a really good night's sleep tonight. Thanks for watching, and comment below whatever topics you want me to cover next, and I will try and cover more topics from now on. Thanks.